Hi, my name is Karsen Delgado. I am a mother, a spouse, and a nurse practitioner, and I like to balance it all out and spend as much time as possible at home with my kids.
My name is Juan Delgado. I'm a father, a husband, a firefighter, paramedic, and a teacher.
Taegan is 15 months, and she was born in March of last year. Diego is 2, he'll be 3 in August, and they're both a lot of fun. He's really kind of easygoing and laid back, and she's a little bit more high-strung like her mom, but together they're a really good balance, and they keep me busy.
Well, I grew up in South Florida, in the Fort Lauderdale area, till I was 18. When I was 18, I came out to Utah to go to school at BYU. Then kind of ended up staying here ultimately for the past 10 years or so.
We actually met at a wedding reception in Florida. I flew out to my cousin's wedding, and he was the best friend growing up of the groom. So we actually met at the wedding reception and started talking, and he said he was going to be out to Utah in a few weeks to study, and he wanted to ask me on a date. So he got my phone number, and then about 2 months passed before he called me, and I had actually forgotten who he was. But we started dating anyway, and then we were engaged shortly thereafter. And that was in 2005. We got married in 2006, March 2006. Previously, I worked in family practice for about 3 years in a community health center in Provo. And I really loved that, but I had to work a set schedule, and so we had to have some daycare coverage, which wasn't horrible. We had a wonderful daycare provider, but I just wanted to be able to have the one-on-one time with my children and my spouse as well. And I really loved the opportunity that I had with them, and decided, you know, I can still have that, opening my own practice, working my hours, and still helping patients, but also helping provide for my family and be the mom that I want to be.
Well, I'm kind of busy because I have a few different jobs, but my main job, my fire department job, that's my full-time job. I work 48-hour shifts. After my 48 hours, I'll get off at 7 a.m. I'll come home. Usually the kids are waking up about the time that I come home, so I'll play with them, get them some breakfast, have breakfast with them, and then most of the time, if I'm off that day, then I'll just play with my kids, and we'll watch movies or go out to the park or play in the backyard or do other things and just kind of have fun together.
I found such rewarding growth and potential in being able to stay here at home with my children and then know they're well taken care of with my spouse while I go and help and serve others.
I spend so much time away from them when I'm at work. I feel like I'm missing stuff in their lives when I do that. So then when I get to make up for it and be with them for full days on end during the week, it's great because I get to see how they're growing, how they're developing, and how they're learning. It just makes my day whenever I get to do that.
When I return home from work, it's a different atmosphere here, and I'm home with my children. I'm refreshed, and I've missed them, and it's just been really rewarding because I feel like I'm constantly renewed and rejuvenated to be a mom.
People have told me, oh, I bet you can't wait to get back on shift. And I actually tell them, no, I can't wait to get off shift usually and come home and be with my kids. Spend time with your kids and get to know them, because your kids really are a lot in your life, and they can influence your life for good and help you learn a lot. I know for a fact, because I had my father who spent a lot of time with us as kids, that it does make a difference, because my father would tell me about how he didn't have a father around when he was growing up, and how he wanted to make up for that and spend that time with us. And I have a really close relationship with him to this day.
Learn to work smarter, not necessarily more. A couple of things that I've done here at home is I try to maintain a schedule with the children so they're aware of structure. I always have a good dinner prepared. I do that doing freezer meals, so I have the whole month stored in the freezer. So we always have a sit-down meal at dinner time, and when my spouse is home, we get to sit and converse, and that's just the most important thing for me. Another thing is, don't stress the little things. You know, if your house isn't perfect, the laundry's not done, just take it a day at a time. It doesn't have to be perfect on both ends. You're balancing something that's very hard to do.
I use my iPhone a lot. My calendar, I have it synced with her calendar too, so that we know what we're doing together. I think that's very important, because if I didn't have something set down in writing or in a calendar, I would forget, and I would miss either work or miss activities that I need to go to with my kids or things like that if I didn't have something set in stone.
It has been difficult at times culturally just because my spouse and I come from different families and different backgrounds, but I think that that can be said of any married couple. You know, you really do find out the differences in how you were raised when you're together.
I think that's the key, is the communication between the husband and wife. Talking to each other about our traditions, about our upbringings and how we feel it could affect our family either for the better or worse is what has really helped us blend our two cultures together and be able to become one strong family.
We've tried to incorporate both worlds, the best of both worlds, and we're finding that we're ironing things out and it's getting easier and more fun as time goes on. And we really hope that as the children age, we can incorporate more of some of those Latin cultural celebrations. Like we want to have a quinceañera for my daughter when she's 15, and when they're older we want to do Christmas at midnight on Christmas Eve instead of Christmas morning. So we really hope to incorporate those things as they age and are more aware.
My kids, they know that I'm there to help them. And my daughter, she'll always come up to me and ask me to help her. And my son will do the same, and they know that I will help them. So I want them to always feel that throughout their life.
My world has just changed. I've had such an enlightened experience in seeing the world through children's eyes and watching them grow, and those small steps that they make as they, you know, cut their first tooth, or they take their first steps, or they learn to say mom. You know, those are just experiences that you cannot ever get anywhere else. You know, they're just moments you'll never want to forget.
I just want to see them become good people and help them grow healthy and strong.
For me, it's not been a sacrifice, really, because I have loved my children. I might even get emotional when I talk about it because they are so wonderful. They've blessed my life immensely. It's the best thing I've ever been given in my life. I would never change it, ever.
Yo soy Juan José Delgado, soy un padre, un esposo, un bombero, paramédico y un maestro.
Yo soy Karsen Delgado, yo soy una madre, una esposa y una enfermera de práctica avanzada y amo a mi familia.